Let's do it. Meow, meow,
Get
meow,
into
meow.
it, yeah.
Welcome back to the Cool Comic Show. I am one of your hosts, Damien, and with me, as always, is generic Mr. E, aka Mr. E, aka E, and also with me, as always, is Jelani Carter, aka Jelani Hendricks, aka Jelani with a body. Q is not joining us today. He is out
We sacrificed him.
being a gambling man. So,
Oh.
big shouts out to Q. We'll see him again.
Two very
next
different
month.
things.
No, he gambled too much, so we sacrificed him. It
Okay,
all
yeah,
works
okay,
out.
okay, cool.
True.
That makes sense.
We are back for our May episode of the main Cool Comic Show. If you are unfamiliar, this is a show we talk about every month to go over the recent news and movies, TV shows, books, and video games in the comic book world. Also, something to know, I forgot to put this in there this morning. Today, as of this recording, May 3rd, is Free Comic Book Day. Unfortunately, Free Comic Book Day has kind of gotten less notoriety in recent years, just because I feel like specifically the big two have not really been investing in it as much. But today is Free Comic Book Day. When you guys are watching this video, it will be past it. But the whole idea is to go to your local comic shop. There's a couple of free comics there, but to go and support and buy some stuff when you're there. We actually have quite a bit of news to talk about compared to recent months. There has been a couple of things that have happened. Everything that we have on our list here, we expect probably in the next couple months as we get closer to Comic-Con, the news may slow down a little bit just because, they save a lot of big announcements for Comic-Con. So this might be the last big chunk we get for a while. But let's go ahead and start on our list. So we usually start with movies and TV shows. First up, Sergeant Rock. We talked about this last month.
Who?
No,
Sergeant Rock is canceled.
Oh no!
Oh,
I
darn.
definitely was looking forward to that, and am not just finding out this was a thing right now in this moment.
Oh no, not my favorite comic book character, Sergeant Rock.
So
Like-
we talked about this last month. This was a movie that was going to be made for DC Studios. It had the director Luca Guadagnino. Gino. He was the director of Challengers. He's had a couple other movies as well, like Call Me by Your Name, that kind of stuff. We talked about it in a recent episode how we felt like his talents could have been useful somewhere else.
Well, now they can.
We were like, why is James Gunn having him do a Sergeant Rock movie?
Looks like he has a lot of free time.
The very famous Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, but so yeah, Sergeant Rock originally it had Daniel Craig was supposed to star, then he dropped out of it, and I think they were trying to
Would
get
not have been
Colin
mad at that,
Farrell.
though.
Yeah, they tried to get Colin Farrell, aka the Penguin, to be Sergeant Rock to replace him. That
Penguin.
didn't happen. So yeah, I would hope. Listen, obviously we don't know we talked about this plenty of times. We don't know what it goes into making a movie, but I feel like if you have a great director
And a
now
well-known
is-
character.
yeah, like there's a couple of characters he could be pretty well. Give him a Midnighter and Apollo movie. Like
Ooh.
if James Gunn is gonna have the authority kind of be prominent in this universe, give him Midnighter and Apollo. Like he's very obviously known for, as I looked it up here on the Wikipedia, specifically known for his intimate, emotional, and visually lavish films that often explore queer themes.
Let them be gay.
Let's say give him Midnighter and Apollo. Like it'd be perfect.
Yeah. Especially Midnighter going off, just a brutal Batman, just blood everywhere. Rated R.
Yeah.
Do it,
So
make it
it's-
happen.
But that's the first official cancellation of previously announced DC Studios movies. So let's hope that this doesn't go into the DCEU, the old one, but now this is a DCU.
What do you mean? That was such a well put together universe.
Let's hope it
And a
doesn't
lot of
follow
the-
that trend of
A lot of great
cancellations.
announcements.
I'd be very curious how Comic-Con goes this year, specifically for DC, because Superman would have been out for 2 weeks at that point, and that'll be a conversation for July. We'll figure it out then.
Or a Jenny Sparks movie would be cool. She just had that Black Label comic as well, so a few more people might know about her.
Oh, wait, actually, I would love to see Jenny Sparks on the big screen, or like a TV show. I think that'd be cool.
An HBO.
Who?
Another thing that just happened as of yesterday, 2 days ago, Thunderbolts *** just released. I have not watched it. Jelani has watched it. I don't know if you watched it yet or no.
No, I'm going tomorrow morning.
Okay, well, if Jelani want to get your overall thoughts without spoilers, because E hasn't seen it, I'm gonna go watch it this month as well.
Okay.
What's your impressions?
So I did enjoy the movie. I was talking about it a little bit with my cousin, who's also a big film and comic book nerd as well. And we kind of compared the feeling that we felt to how you would feel after watching Age of Ultron. Really good action movie, but they definitely played into some emotional beats that I think will help move along this phase in this story. And I mean, Florence Pugh carried. I think all the actors and actresses that were in this movie did a really, really good job. I think I'm blanking on the dude's name, but the guy who played Sentry was fantastic. And yeah, like I will say that like the story was very well paced. You know what I mean? Everything like looked really good. There wasn't a lot of like rubbery CGI scenes too with like the action as well. So I thought that was really dope.
Yeah.
Highly encouraged stay in the theater for both post credit scenes. I mean, it's a Marvel movie, but
True.
I think especially that second one that will grab everybody's attention for a bunch of reasons. I really enjoyed it. I will say I felt like maybe like slightly underwhelmed when I was done watching the movie, but I think that's because I just didn't really know what to expect or what we were gonna get from this movie. But like I said, like if you kind of compare it to Age of Ultron, like Age of Ultron was a good action movie. It was also very emotional, but I think you needed a movie like that in order to connect with the characters more and like care about the Avengers more. As like, you know, we went into the like later phases of the MCU. So I think this movie's in like similar vein. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna make you care about the MCU again for whatever they got set up next. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been hearing of like it's people saying it's a great movie and everything like that, but it kind of has that similar vibe of Age of Ultron where this movie's it's when other movies come out after this, people are gonna go back to this movie and realize how much great it really is. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot
1000%, 1000%.
Not that every movie needs to have a setup, but there's a lot of things that, from what I've heard, that happen in this movie that are going to be the kind of the groundwork for future stuff that will make this movie even better down the line. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's to say this movie's not even like it's still good. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah.
just to add on to that as like time goes on, I think will be like really, really cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. Definitely. And don't forget the asterisk. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, there's an that I told Jelani this. There were two things that got spoiled, specifically both post credits, but I do want to still go watch the movie. Another thing that happened, and this probably happened before or in the front of the Thunderbolts movie you watched last night. Since the last time we recorded it, we have a new Fantastic Four trailer. We didn't necessarily record a reaction video to it, but I did watch it. I don't know if you guys have avoided watching it just for your own sake, but
yeah.
I have not seen anything.
The biggest thing in here, and it's not really a spoiler for you, E, because I think we talked about it before, but we did see the Silver Surfer in this trailer for the first time. She looks
discourse.
She looks hella sick. Like she looks so cool.
Yeah.
She looks dope as hell.
I think overall thoughts of the trailer, I'm excited for it. I think it has I think it's portraying the vibe that the movie is actually going to have, which I'm excited for. And I'm glad that they even say it in the trailer at the beginning. They're like, you guys know the story. Like you don't have to go through the whole, origin and everything like that. So I'm glad that we're kind of just jumping in as here's our Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
me too.
I think it said it's supposed to be like 4 or 5 years since they got their powers.
So I imagine we'll get like in the beginning we'll get like their we'll see their accident, then it'll like time jump a little bit and then like current day or whatever. Or maybe there'll be like flashbacks to the accident throughout the movie. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why I want to go see Thunderbolts so I can see this trailer on the big screen.
Oh yeah, it looks great on the big screen. It really looks really, really dope. Yeah.
Jumping over back to DC, this was kind of a small thing, but we did get the logo of the Supergirl movie was released, or
I have not seen that.
Kind of shown off. I'll relink it for you guys. It looks pretty much like the Superman logo, but a little bit different. Obviously, it looks about the same because they're in the same universe. Hers is like more red with the blue background, and I think his is like yellow. So you can see kind of how they have the differences there, but it is the same. They are cousins. I imagine by Comic-Con we'll get either her first reveal in the suit or a teaser trailer. I imagine. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe both.
True.
I'm excited to see Emily Alcock as Supergirl. I mean, I love Supergirl in general as a character, definitely a little bit more than Superman, especially after that fantastic book that came out a couple years ago. I'm blanking on the author, but
Woman of Tomorrow.
Yes, that one.
That's what the movie's based off of.
So good. And I have a soft spot for the Arrowverse Supergirl with Melissa Benoist. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. So I'm really excited.
That CW era of DC shows, we didn't really have much else going on at the time. Like we took what we could get.
Hey man, they were holding us down when the big screen was letting us down. You know what I mean, I do not care. I'll always have a soft spot for the Arrowverse. I mean, and like I feel like the general consensus, like watch the first couple seasons of every one of the shows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then you'll be all right. It did go on a little bit longer than it should have, but that's just network television. But I don't want to ever completely like just shit on that because like there is a lot of good in a lot of those shows. and it's just like dumb fun at a certain point. So
I'll always say that first season of The Flash, for that time when it came out and what we had at that time, that first season of The Flash, like that was all we had, and it was so good. Like obviously things have gotten better since then, but like
first 2 to 3 seasons of Arrow, amazing television. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Especially those first 2 seasons, I loved it.
Yeah, the first 2 for sure.
Some not so exciting news. Going back to Marvel, there's been a lot of back and forth for the Blade movie. It's been in production, it's been delayed, it's been postponed, it's been back and forth. There's an artist by the name of Flying Lotus. He's a DJ, he's a rapper, he's done like some anime stuff, some composing.
One of the best like hip hop producers.
Yeah,
like underground hip hop producers ever.
He's very good. He had a quote come out. What the news says Flying Lotus reveals he was signed on to write music for Blade before production paused. His quote specifically said, "I guess we are so far from it even being a possibility now, but yeah, I was signed on to write music for the new Blade movie before it fell through. Maybe it'll come around again, but I doubt it. Would have been fun though." I read that and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, how do you... Yeah. I was like, is this DC Studios like from 6 years ago? Like, what's going on here?
How do you... It's like they just keep on dropping the ball with so many really talented people. Like, if you guys are not familiar with Flylo, like I highly suggest watching Yasuke on Netflix, which is the anime that he and Lakeith Stanfield created, or at least worked on. Just listen to that soundtrack. It's fantastic. Listen to any of his other like albums. Like, he's really, really, really good. So to hear that they fumbled Flying Lotus for a Blade movie starring Mahershala Ali is insane to me. Because they just keep on naming all these really cool things that could have happened, that would have definitely worked. I promise you, they definitely would have worked, and then it's just falling through.
In another universe, we got that Blade movie.
You know, and then it hurts even more because especially after Sinners has come out. You know what I mean?
Sinners is so good.
So it's like, black vampires can work. It's right there.
People want it. Like
they knew it could work when it was a successful trilogy the first time.
True.
You mean the thing that started the Marvel universe and saved the company in general?
That's what I say. They talked about how that Blade movie saved Marvel at that time. They were bankrupt.
They even referenced it in Deadpool. So it's like,
you know what I mean? It could work. You have so many talented people behind it, and this stalls. Out of everything you've put out, this stalls. There's just a lot of questions about what could have possibly gone on behind the scenes for this to be the thing that can't be made. You know?
Yeah. And like,
are they afraid of having something too good? Is that what it is?
I think they're afraid of success.
Yeah.
It's like Jelani said. Like, Flylo's a great ass, like, just artist overall. Like, if you haven't. Even if you haven't watched anything that he's done, I'm pretty sure you've heard his music, because if you've played GTA, there's a specific radio station called Flylo FM, and it's him on there, like, curating the whole playlist. So he does a lot of like cool stuff.
If you watched Adult Swim in the past 10 years,
Adult Swim, he's been around, and so him being on this movie would have been so sick. And now it's like another reason why I'm excited for DC. At Comic-Con, I'm excited for Marvel, because it's like, what's their plan going to be? Obviously, we know Secret Wars and Doomsday and all that stuff like that, but it's like, Blade is a big kind of, for lack of a better term, elephant in the room for Marvel right now. And like Jelani said, Sinners shows that people enjoy. Like, I think vampires are really kind of making a comeback in media in general. So I don't know. It sucks to see, because it's like, fuck, dude, I would have loved to see this movie, you know? So yeah, hopefully we'll get some kind of positive news about Blade in the future, but...
You gave bro a hat for nothing, bro. Oh
I'll say Mahershala's not getting any younger, man. Like,
you know what I mean?
It's true.
But in some other positive news, since we last recorded, Daredevil has finished its season 1 of Born Again. I still have not caught up to it yet, Johnny. I don't know if you ended up finishing it in E as well.
I finished it. Yeah.
If you want to give your thoughts on it from the first season as a whole.
Peak. It's fucking peak. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I love Daredevil. He's one of my favorite comic book characters of all time, along with Static. So I thought it was really, really good. You know, I will say it's definitely like slightly different from the Netflix universe of all these characters. But I mean, I feel like, I don't know if you felt the same way, E, but I feel like, I mean, that first episode, the first half of the first episode, a little rocky, not gonna lie, but I think
it was a little rocky.
It was a little rocky, but correct me if I'm wrong, those were some of the reshoot scenes that was like playing in that first episode, right? So I think outside of that, I think it did a really good job portraying both the Daredevil side and the Matt Murdock side of that character. That was something that I really enjoyed about She-Hulk as well. Like, yes, She-Hulk is powerful and Bruce Banner's cousin and everything, but also she's a really good lawyer. So I love the fact that She-Hulk showed off both sides. It's the same thing with Matt Murdock. He's a really good defense attorney and a really good superhero. So you need to like blend the two in order to like fully show off the greatness that is Daredevil in general. And I think they did a really good job. And of course, like, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Kingpin was fantastic. Charlie Cox is amazing. I can't spoil who else shows up in that show, but everybody else, like, really, really, really good. Definitely watch it for sure.
Yeah, I echo a lot of the same sentiments. Like, the first episode started off a little rocky, and there were things throughout the series that, you know, kind of pulled you out of the moment, but they always found a way to bring you back in. So I feel like overall it was a fantastic series. A lot of good callbacks to the original, but they managed to do this in a way that it didn't feel like you were watching a Netflix show. Like it felt like something fresh. It felt like something new, even though you already had this connection to a lot of the characters if you watched the Netflix series. We got to see a lot of the characters outside of the costumes, basically. So it's like Jelani said, we saw a lot of Matt doing his court thing. We got to see that side of his life a lot more, and so it really mattered more when he did actually suit up, and he was like, you know, fighting for his life. And it's really good when you see a street level character actually living in the community that they're protecting. So
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job world building, and that's what made this series feel special.
Yeah, I'll say, like, you know, especially with these like street level characters, New York being a character is very, very important. And I feel like in the Netflix series, like, yeah, you knew they lived in New York, but didn't really like feel that way. It felt like kind of empty. I think with this, you definitely get the sense like, all right, cool, they're in Manhattan, they're in Brooklyn, they're in Queens, like they're in like New York City, like an actual New York City that's lived in and has like been through things, especially because of like, you know, everything that's been going on in the MCU as of late, like the past couple years. But like there's certain elements there's certain elements that make you feel like, oh yeah, this is like a place that like these characters actually live in, and it's not just, they're not just saying it, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I'm from Hell's Kitchen. Like, no, you can actually feel that he's from Hell's Kitchen. You can actually feel that he's from these different places, and especially like, you know, I don't want to say this is really a spoiler, but they have like sort of like a man of the street character that kind of interviews different New Yorkers, and I think that definitely helps out the world building a lot as well, and that's probably one of my favorite elements of that show. You got to see what the like actual New Yorkers felt about Kingpin and the crimes that goes on in the city and all the different elements of the story that happened throughout the series. So I'm glad that like New York is a character in the show just as much as Kingpin and Daredevil and whoever else pops up.
Do you guys think, and this is not even just from like watching the show, but just, do you think Daredevil's going to show up in any of these movies at some point in the future?
Man, I hope so.
I saw a joke. I saw a joke that it was like, it's 2015 or whenever the Netflix Daredevil came out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was like Age of Ultron came out. Marvel completely just did not mention Daredevil at all. He doesn't exist. It's like a good old times because with Thunderbolts coming out like on the heels of this, I don't think a lot of people expected like a mention or anything, but like something. But you know, Marvel has a good does a good job of making these connected universes and then just saying, sometimes they don't connect.
I mean, he did make an appearance in a Marvel movie, so like, you know, he's there. But like, you know,
as a lawyer,
yeah. Hopefully he does.
Yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention before we go to books, I forgot to put it in here, but we talked about it before. I'm bringing it up because someone had mentioned it in the comments in the last video for our Harley Quinn reaction. We did talk about we are going to revisit that over the summer. We're going to work out, you know, specific dates and stuff like that. But Harley Quinn will still be coming the most recent season. I know it's wrapped up, but I do want to go back and finish that. So that'll be when that happens. We'll let you guys know, of course. So for books, a couple of quick announcements before we get to what we've been reading, mostly from Marvel. Marvel announced a limited series called Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe. They've had a couple of these types of series before, like there was Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe and that kind of stuff, but that's a limited series coming out in July. Marvel also announced a swimsuit special comic for the first time in 30 years. If you guys remember those X-Men bikinis and swimsuits from the 90s, that'll be a one-shot story. Has a couple different artists and writers on there, and there will be designs for new Marvel Rivals costumes.
Oh, hell yeah.
In that book.
Heck yeah.
So that'll be hopefully something we can look forward to. And then the last kind of
Mr.
overall
Fantastic
announcement,
Speedo costume?
hopefully, a one-shot comic called The Fantastic Four will release on July 2nd. This is, and I was surprised by this, this is the first time Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics have worked together on a comic set in the world of an MCU movie. But yeah, that'll be coming out July 2nd, a couple weeks before the Fantastic Four and Superman as well.
I mean, I think that'll be cool, especially because Matt Fraction is fantastic. So I love anything that Matt Fraction writes. So I think it's going to be good. And I'm glad that we're getting some sort of like tie-in comic. You know what I mean? Kind of incentivizes you to watch the movie more. So I think that'll be cool.
Another thing I actually didn't put in here, it's not necessarily an announcement, something that's already happened. We do know that the Mr. Terrific Year 1 book is coming.
Nice.
Something that came out is there were some previews because they had like previews anytime a new series, and the art just looks super sick for that. But we did get some previews. I forgot the actual date. I think that is also coming out in the summer as well, but that looks pretty cool. So last thing for our books is what we've been reading. I know life has been lifing for a lot of us overall. I can go ahead and get started for this. So what I've been reading recently, specifically with new series, Zatanna, of course. One thing I didn't realize, I don't know why, because I know I talked about it when it first came out. Zatanna is only going to be 6 issues. And I didn't know if I thought it was going to be one of those things where if it does well enough, they were going to give it more. But I should have realized DC is DC and they don't want to give Zatanna love. But it is only 6 issues. I don't know if they're going to extend it somewhere down the line. It's very good. 3 issues are out right now. Please go pick it up. Please go read it. Zatanna's on this adventure. She has this like magic sword stuck in her chest. When you read it, you'll see why.
As one does.
But it affects her when she tries to use her magic. Like it already costs, part of her to use magic, but then this sword in her kind of.
Oh no, she talks forward now.
But it's so fucking good. Like and there's a cool moment like when Bruce Wayne shows up, which is not a spoiler because he's in pretty much all her stories. It's just so sick. Been reading New Gods, which is very much like a large scale, fantastical, sci-fi, just world to world book. I think that's 4 issues in right now. There's a new god, and everyone's trying to find this new god. And there's a cool ass moment where High Father kind of clears out the battlefield. It's like you're watching a movie almost,
Okay, cool.
And then of course Batgirl. I talked about this before. It's a great kind of street level story of Cassandra kind of reconnecting with her mom, Lady Shiva, and kind of their adventures in the streets. Last night, I reread a story called Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. It's a pretty short story. The reason I like it, because it's very much like and I'll put a picture on screen that I took the other day. Like, all the art in this book is, like, very, like, painting and, like, watercolor. Like, it's basically Batman going into Arkham Asylum and, dealing with a couple different villains. The way that it's painted is very much like you're kind of like in a dream or nightmare, basically, and it's intense. So I reread that last night. But yeah, that's what I've been reading. It's been a lot of good stuff. We talked about this before that DC has right now. It sucks that Zatanna is only 6 issues, but hopefully we'll get some more from her in the future.
I haven't read anything. All right, in the story. Hey guys, have you heard of this really cool comic called Time Slide? It's a one-shot.
Yo, you guys heard of Time Slide?
No, I have picked up some stuff. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. We have the
read any webtoons or anything?
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
I'm showing off this Joe Mullen Absolute Green Lantern.
Oh, that's right. I gotta read that.
1. I haven't read this yet, but I'm definitely going to get into it. I love Joe, so we're going to figure it out. we're gonna find some time to read that. Also, I have gotten all 4 issues of Ultimate Wolverine, but I have only read the first one so far. It was really gas. I got to start Absolute Martian Manhunter as well.
Oh, yes.
Also got the first 2 issues of Absolute Flash. Have not started that yet. But we gonna figure it out. We gonna find some time.
Yeah.
I have been mostly reading webtoons recently because they're free and they're on my iPad. So I've been kind of saving money because it's the summertime and my friends want me outside for some reason. I don't know what that. But I've been reading on Tapas. I've been reading the beginning after the end, which is a really solid webtoon. They just came out with an anime based on the webtoon.
What's it about?
It is about this guy who dies, and he comes back as a baby. But he's like he's a king. He's a king in his previous world, and he comes back into like a fantasy world that is very much magic based, but using, you know, methods from his previous world. He, you know, taps into his magic a lot earlier than most people. So he of course becomes OP, but he's OP. You find out that he's OP, but like not enough because there's this threat that comes and they just dog walk him like back back and forth. And I kind of like that because usually in isekais and things of that nature, like the MC becomes like so overpowered, like there's no real stakes, but like this guy, he just cannot catch a break. So it's really good. I would, if you do want to get into it, I would read the webtoon rather than watch the anime because the anime is giving slideshow. So somehow the still pictures in the webtoon have more fluidity than the moving pictures in the anime. I also been reading Omniscient Reader, which if you're a fan of Solo Leveling, Omniscient Reader is probably just as good. That's on the actual webtoon app, as well as I think it's called Jungle Juice.
Hell
which is,
yeah.
It's another really good webtoon. I think they're making an anime based off of that. I could be wrong, but Jungle Juice is really good. It's got like a My Hero feel. It's like homie accidentally gets superpowers based on like a dragonfly, and he goes to this school where there are other insects people, but he starts this whole convoluted plot, and it just kind of derails into madness, which is really, really friggin' awesome.
Hell yeah.
And then
My
I've
gym partner's a
also,
monkey the anime. I love it.
well, not quite.
Shout out to anybody who drank jungle juice in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
if you're a man of a certain age,
Okay, well, not too much on all of us.
well, all of you. But
All of us.
I said what I said. But yeah, that's what I've been reading a lot of lately. Just a lot of webtoons, a lot of action. I like looking at the art. It's really good. And you should all go read those for sure. And then
Hell
I'll catch
yeah.
up on comics, and we'll talk about that instead next time.
Yeah. Also, catch up on Absolute Wonder Woman. I should have mentioned that too. Still a banger.
Oh yeah,
As
I
always.
gotta catch up on Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate Spider-Man.
That is something I did see real quick, Jelani, before you go. For Free Comic Book Day, DC did release like their all-in / Absolute Universe crossover book for Free Comic Book Day, so that is out today. If people want to go pick it up, it is free.
I haven't really been reading anything, not gonna lie to you. I just been watching anime and TV shows and stuff like that.
Jelani been outside.
Yeah, it's it's the summertime, so funny enough, May kind of kicks off the
He has a
Outside
different
Man
birthday
Chronicles.
every week.
Yeah, I have a birthday to go to today as of this recording. So
If you want to keep up with Jelani's outside adventures, make sure you follow him. What's your Instagram? Is it _ Jelani Hendricks?
no, it's just Jelani Hendricks on
Actually,
Instagram.
if you want to keep up with his outside adventures, follow No Doubt.
That too.
True. Follow Jelani Hendricks on Instagram and our previous guest star, honorary CCS member Dre at No Doubt on Instagram.
Yeah.
You will keep up with all their outside
We'll see
adventures the
Jelani.
whole summer. And Jelani.
Yeah. But yeah, like I've been buying comics. I go to the comic book shop every week and try to see what's coming out. Especially, I mean, me, Damon, E, and Q have our own little text thread. So whenever like some new stuff gets released, I know when it comes out. But I just have not had the time to like really read. I am excited to get into all the Absolute stuff. I did kind of catch up on half of Absolute Batman, which I think has been really, really cool. But I definitely want to get into the new Martian Manhunter story and
Yep.
the new Green Lantern story because I bought that. And randomly bought I actually want to kind of catch up on the TMNT and Naruto comic book because I thought that was just like a really interesting crossover.
Yeah.
So I'll probably read that soon. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff in my backlog that I gotta work through. So when the June CCS comes through, I'll have more to say. But as of right now, I have not been reading anything.
If you guys have seen Jelani on social media before, he did watch wrestling while he was out. He might read a comic book while he's out next time. Who knows?
Yeah, I might. I just might.
You never know what's gonna happen.
And
But that's
Dre
what
will have the photo.
But that's what we've been reading recently. And the last piece of news we touched on it a little bit for gaming, as always, because DC's not making anything. Marvel Rivals.
What do you mean? They have that really cool mobile zombie game.
Dude, every time I get an ad for that game, I'm like, what is this?
I
What
get
is
so
happening
mad
here?
Every time I get an
So-
ad for that game, I'm like, this is actually a real thing, huh? They put money into this instead of making an actual video
There was
game.
meetings, there was approvals, there was drafts that this had to go through, and they made that. It's crazy.
It exists.
Yep.
But in actual good gaming news, Emma Frost did come out in Rivals.
Yes.
That's my new main. I'm trying to play her a little bit more. I haven't played Rivals a lot recently, but when I do play her, or when I do play, I'm trying to get good at Emma Frost.
Yeah, I really like her as well. She's got a for me, she's got a kid I can handle as a Vanguard. All the other Vanguards, I can't really like jump and punch, but with her, it's I don't know, it's different.
She's a lot of fun, you know. It's just like I like
Even
to
though
just
her
be a
kid
bullet
is-
at people.
Yeah, her kid is not like super easy, but once you get a hang of it, it's so fun.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll have some DC news at some point in the future. And maybe
Should
Marvel
we get the
will.
mobile game?
Should we do a live stream of the mobile game?
Yes.
But speaking of live stream, I'll mention it now. We've talked about it before, and we do it every year. In a couple months, we mentioned already earlier this episode, Comic-Con is happening. And if you weren't at last year's Comic-Con stream for the Cool Comic Show,
Limited
you
edition
missed it.
Comic-Con.
because I forgot to download the video, but it got pretty out there, especially by the end when Robert Downey Jr. got announced as Doom. We were a few drinks in. It probably won't be as messy this year.
For sure.
It probably won't be as messy this year, but again, we'll talk about it all the way leading up to it.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for information for that stream. Comic-Con's usually the last week or so of July, so we'll be doing a stream. We usually do that Saturday because that's when Marvel does their panel. DC usually does theirs in the morning. We'll do it in the afternoon or in the evening for Marvel, and have a good time for that. But yeah, that's everything for this past month. Thank you guys for watching and supporting as always. Make sure you guys go follow E and Jelani on their social medias, and we'll be back next month for the last probably kind of slow month before shit really gets crazy in the middle of summer. And we have some big movies to look forward to this summer for Superman and Fantastic Four. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting, and we'll see you next time on the Cool Comic Show.
Bye.